And I start talking about this jiu-jitsu stuff. And you got to remember, this is 1998 now, 1997. So nobody really knew what it was in America. And some of the wrestlers were like, all right, well, let's see what's up. And I beat them. And then, now look, combine it with some other things. I was a late bloomer. So I started to lose some baby fat. I started to look more like a man. And I started to get friends. I got a girlfriend for a minute and yada,
Welcome to the Gentleman Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk podcast, where we bring to you the most successful, happy, fulfilled gentlemen from around the world who have been able to conquer themselves, their life, their marriage, and their businesses. You will be learning from four-dimensional gentlemen who have cracked the code to the science of having it all. The question is, how can married entrepreneurs with kids become gentlemen, achieve true freedom, and build a successful, happy, and fulfilled life, marriage, and business? This show will give you the answer for that. My name is Alex Ramirez, and I'm your host, and you're welcome to the Gentleman Success, Happiness, Fulfillment Talk podcast. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of the Gentleman Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk podcast. As always, I have an incredible guest with me today. And I know I always say that, but it's because it's always true. And before I introduce this gentleman to you, I just want to give a big shout out to all of you who have been leaving comments, reviews, and likes on all the major podcasting platforms, Apple, Google, Spotify, and to those who have been watching on YouTube as well. Thank you very much. And I want to ask you for a small favor today. I want to ask you that if you get something out of this interview, if you get some type of value, some type of new skill and insight, information, or the inspiration to go out and keep on making some progress towards your goals, I want to ask you that if this helps you, please share it with 10 people. Share it on social media, share the link on Facebook, on Twitter, everywhere. Share it with 10 people, since this is how we grow. This is how we're able to share our message and motivate, inspire, and bless other men out there to change their lives and become the best versions of themselves. And today I have Eliot Marshall. He's a UFC veteran, black belt champion, motivational speaker, TEDx speaker, husband, father, and entrepreneur, right? So I'm very excited to have you, man. Thank you very much for making time. And you are welcome, man.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you having me on. This is going to, I just heard your story, which is an amazing story. So yeah, I'm stoked to do this with you.
Thanks, man. So the first thing that I do with my guest, Eliot, is I tell them to walk us through their entrepreneurial journey in 75 seconds or less.
Oh, my entrepreneurial journey. So I got ready. I got into martial arts when I was 6 years old. I fought martial arts. I fought in the UFC, and I became the best that I could be at the time. It wasn't good enough. I retired, and then I've just been still failing all the way through this whole journey of life that you call it, right?
Yeah.
Like make an attempt, mess it up, try to do it better. Make an attempt, mess it up, try to do it better. So I don't know. Was that 75 seconds or less?
That was way less, but yeah, that's basically
that's all it is.
Sums it up, right?
That's it. Just keep messing up and doing it a little better.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what, get feedback, iterate, get feedback, iterate. That's what, life and business is all about. And all you got to do is not give up and trust the process.
The key is stay in the game, right? The key is make it so that you stay in the game. And if you stay in the game, then you always have a shot at winning.
Yeah.
Okay. And some of the wins are bigger than others, and some of them are real small, and some of them end up being losses. But if you stay in the game, if you're still in the game, let's go. You always have a chance to win.
That's all, man. That's it. Don't give up, right? We can end this.
It's super simple.
That's it.
It's super simple. It's not easy, but it's super simple.
The most important things in life, man, are super simple, but it's not easy. Like you don't need to take a course to be able to put a smile on someone's face. You don't need to be able to, take a course to, be a present father or husband, but it's simple, right? Like the idea is simple, but like doing it, it's like, it takes intention and it takes dedication and it takes reps.
Being a good dad is so simple. There's nothing to it. It's be consistent, show love, show up. That's it.
Yeah.
Be consistent, right? You can't be up and down with how you are, with them. They have the child needs to be safe. Show love. You have to love, right? Like the first thing has to be love, and then be there, like be present. These are really, really easy, simple. These are really, really simple things. They're just not easy all the time.
Yeah, 100%. Man, I'm very excited about right now because right now, it's 8 a.m. and I've been for the past 2 hours, I've been like just reflecting and planning the week ahead. But during my meditation, a name came up and it was Understanding the Queen. So I'm very good at podcast, right? Like that's my service. I help people with their podcast, building multi-million-dollar network of people who can help them achieve bigger goals faster and with less efforts. And this podcast, this week, I'm dropping a new podcast. It's going to be called Understanding the Queen, right? So I'm on a mission to like start this, to not start, no, to build, because I already started it, to build a world movement helping men become modern gentlemen, right? And it involves the queen, right? Like if you're trying to be a king, it involves the queen. And I'm going to be interviewing, very successful women out there, women who make power couples with their husbands, right? Women who are building an empire, along with their husbands. And I'm very excited about that. Like in a decade from now, I'm going to be like the face of the personal development industry, man.
All right. I like it.
Yeah.
I like
so
it.
I'm playing a long-term game, right?
Yeah.
It's like chess. I'm playing a long-term game. Now I have my business that generates me income. Then as I'm, running that, I'm also like thinking a couple of decades in the future. So I'm excited for that. And I just wanted to bring that up, for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you.
So man, let's see. Talk to me about the Gospel of Fire, right? Like you have a podcast, a book, you have I think a lot of things that have that similar name, right? The Gospel of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that all about?
The fire is the gospel. It's not religious at all. So for every individual to truly achieve what I like to call their power, okay, the thing in the world that makes them amazing, you have to go through this forging process. Okay. And that forging process, like when you forge a sword, it's fire, but you stick the sword in the fire and it burns and you get it really hot and you break it down, you beat it and you beat on it and you beat on it and you beat on it, and that process of constantly going into the fire, that is the gospel, right? That is my gospel. I have to do and be trying hard things. The quote over to the far right, the one next to Martin Luther King, it's the Teddy Roosevelt quote, the man in the arena. And here I can read it real fast. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold or timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. And that's the gospel of fire. Enter the arena. Keep walking. Keep making the walk into your life. And then watch what happens.
So what inspired that, man? What inspired
a breakdown?
Huh?
An absolute breakdown. An absolute spiritual awakening / mental breakdown. No, I didn't go to the hospital or anything, but like I was not okay for 9 months. Major panic, major anxiety, very acute and intense, unaware of how I was going to get from moment to moment and from day to day, second to second. And while my life was good, like I had like this room is in the house that I still live in the same house. I still have the same 2 kids. I still have the same wife. My businesses were good. So everything was okay. This was 2016. I had already been done fighting for 5 years and then made it, so there was no like existential crisis. There was an internal crisis of this. Eliot is not enough. Eliot is not good enough, that I've always been trying to hide and run from my entire life.
Yeah. That's crazy. So you had everything that, that in order for people to think that you were good, you made it, but internally there was something, right? Like that was causing some inner conflict. So do you mind going into that?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm born to a Black dad who grew up in 1980. My dad's Black and my mom's white, and her parents were the survivors of the Holocaust. And I knew them. and I spent a lot of time with them. And my dad, if you track it back, just do the math, he was born in 1948. So that means he grew up during civil rights, where, Black people didn't have all the same rights as white people in America.
Damn.
And so you combine the two heritages,
Damn.
my two
Yeah.
backgrounds, and I had the most suffering of everybody in America. And we moved into this small little town where, the quarterback of the high school was going to be the quarterback of the high school because his granddad was, and his dad was, and his big brother was. And we were outcasts. My house got spray painted with swastikas and Nigers go home and all of this. I had no friends. And the only thing I had was martial arts. And then what happened to me was I started learning this stuff called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And at the same time, it was between my junior and senior year of high school. I go back, and so again, I have no friends at this point, two actually. I go back to high school. I go back to school after the summer, and I start talking about this jiu-jitsu stuff. And you got to remember, this is 1998 now, 1997. So nobody really knew what it was in America. And some of the wrestlers were like, all right, well, let's see what's up. And I beat them. And then, now look, combine it with some other things. I was a late bloomer. So I started to lose some baby fat. I started to look more like a man. And I started to get friends. I got a girlfriend for a minute and yada, so then, but I associated with being safe and people liking me in the world with being able to beat somebody up, So I was like, oh, I'm going to fight in the UFC because that will make people be my friends.
That gave you your sense of significance.
Yeah. If I'm popular and I get good at this, people will like me. And this is the only way I've ever had people actually like me in my life. Right. So you attach those two things, and while you get very, very good at fighting, there's also this demon that is brewing as well. Because how could I lose a fight?
Damn.
If my whole existence in the world was dependent on me being a badass,
and when your career ended,
if I wasn't?
You were fucked internally.
Yeah, but it doesn't come right away, right? Like the devil doesn't come to say hi right away. The devil waits until it's the perfect timing. And when that devil comes to get you, he's got you, and he's got his hook and his claw in deep, and and then it doesn't go away right away either.
All right. So then, this like downward spiral started to begin when you ended your 5-year career in the as a like fighter and stuff.
Yeah. So 2016. So I retired at the end of 2011, and at the beginning of 2016 is when it came. When I had to sit with the devil for a little bit.
Damn. So it was like a slow journey. So how was that slow journey, man? Was it like, I don't know. I have no idea. So tell me about it.
In between, or what was the journey with the devil like?
Well, I want to know about the journey, when you went deep with the devil, but how did it get to it? Right? How was like the build up to that
Just
moment?
not paying attention to how I was feeling, not paying attention to my emotions. Yeah.
Ignoring.
Just ignoring, like most men do, right? Just not paying attention to how I was feeling about certain situations, how I was reacting to certain situations, how I was dealing with other humans in my day to day, and things like that. So that
did you run around wanting to beat people?
No, I would scream it though. I would scream about how tough I would, like not literally scream it, but like, it's hard to explain, right? It's hard to explain what you were like, because I wasn't an asshole, but there was this asshole that it could come out. Does that make sense? It didn't always come out, and there was just a lot of insecurity about who I was as a man. Like who? The big question that we all need to ask ourselves: who am I? And putting some actual definitions to who you are, so that you have some ground to stand on when shit gets real shaky. Because everyone's life is going to get shaky. Everyone. There's no one whose life isn't going to, at some point, have a crisis.
Yeah, 100%, man. So then this is where the gospel of fire came from, right? Awesome. I like that. And I'm going to ask more about it But before I do, man, it sounds like you've done some internal work this past couple of years, right? So what kind of work did you have to do in order to, like get over this, mature with this, and just like heal?
I have a therapist. I love her. I see her every week. I read a lot. I wake up. I have a morning routine. I wake up. I meditate. I exercise hard. I like taking cold showers pretty often. Just I have order in my life. And then I had to put some structure to it. I had to ask some questions. I had to ask this really, really big, important question. Who am I? What does that mean? I had to realize I have it tattooed here in my arm in Greek, because it's a Marcus Aurelius quote. The impediment of action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. So the obstacle is the way, So
yeah.
Like that, I have it on my arm. And then that's it. Walk into the arena of life. There's no such thing as having it. There's no such thing as beating it. I experience intense anxiety still sometimes, and I just say hello to it. I've learned how to deal with the devil, and not make the devil not come. The devil comes. He still comes. I just know how to hang with him. I know how to be like, yo, what's up, dog? And just sit there, be like, all right, you're going to hang out. And you're going to hang out, but that has nothing to do with what Eliot's going to do. Eliot still does what Eliot is, because this is who Eliot is. And I have these very clear definitions to who I am.
Nice. I like that, man. Yeah. I'm just like thinking and processing, but yeah, I like that. So habits, right? Like getting order, like you said, in your life.
I have order for my life. Yeah.
I hurt my wrist, right? And I stopped working out for like 3 weeks, like the way that I usually do, right? Consistently and hard. And then in that process, my eyes, like I have like these freezer, like this like box that's a freezer that I get into. It stopped working, right? It stopped working. And so I stopped my workout, right? I stopped working out for a little bit, like this past month. I stopped working out for, consistently, like the way I do. Got depressed because I'm not working out, and like my wrist hurts, right? So I have an excuse. And my freezer is not working, so I'm not taking cold showers anymore. And then I start missing my morning routines and my meditations and my journalings. And this past week, I've been feeling how I get triggered very quickly, man. So, as to before, something happens and I'm just like grounded, right? Being a witness to the experience, and like not allowing myself to react, and like choosing how is it that I need to show up in order to solve the problems. This past week, I've been feeling a little bit more reactive and a little bit more triggerable, right? So I get triggered really fast, and I get and this like anger, man, like rage comes up. So which is it's a little bit scary, right? But I'm able to, it's not like coming up, but I'm able to like feel it coming.
Feel it. Yeah, you can feel it. Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit. And and I experience it, and I'm witness it, and I realize and I know that I'm not that, whatever it is, right, that's coming up. And I'm like, holy shit, like I gotta get back on my habits.
You can be that. Hold on, you can be that. That's where I disagree with you. That does exist. Okay, that does exist in you. So you have to be real aware of that existing in you. Don't try to deny it, from my perspective, right? Because everything that's good about you, whatever's great about you, okay, I believe in the duality of the world. The thing that makes you great is also what makes you terrible. The fact that I am a fighter, it has some really great qualities to it, but I have to be aware of the exact opposite. I have to be aware of the polarization of it. Okay. So what are the qualities about fighter that make me bad? I can be aggressive. I can be short-tempered. I can get too intense. So these are all things about fighters that are true and are necessary at certain times. They are also what makes me great. I can be aggressive. I charge at things, right? I can be short-tempered. Okay. When that quality is being used skillfully, I can control the temper and be like, and that allows me to address problems very early rather than let them go and go and go. Does that make sense? Yeah. So
Hey, sorry for the interruption. Real quick, do you want to know how I've been using my podcast to build a multi-million-dollar network with over 100 7, 8, and 9-figure entrepreneurs? reach hundreds of my ideal clients with my message, coaching, service, and podcast, get invited to speak on 4 stages in the last 2 months alone, throw my own events, and have over 100 successful entrepreneurs being willing to speak at my events, become a millionaire in 1 year, get mentored by multimillionaires, and achieve goals that I thought were going to take me 10 years to achieve in 1 year, and ultimately get unstuck and make quantum leaps of progress in my business and life with less than 1 hour of work just by being myself. If you answered yes to any of those, I just want to invite you to a free training showing you how I've been able to build a multi-million-dollar network that is helping me achieve bigger income goals faster with only 1 hour of speaking and just being myself. To be honest, I thought I was going to be a multi-millionaire, speak on stages, throw my own events, and live a successful, happy, and fulfilled life of growth and impact in 10 years from now. That seemed so far away, but my podcast has been able to help me do that in less than 6 months. I'm actually doing all of that this year at the age of 21 with my podcast. I'm reaching thousands of people with my message, my service, my podcast, my coaching. I've gotten booked to speak on 4 stages in the last 2 months. And on these stages, I'm going to be getting in front of hundreds of my ideal clients, making roughly around 15 to 30K plus per event. Not only that, I have a network of over 100 high-level, multi-million-dollar entrepreneurs who have all agreed to speak at my events. Getting clients is a problem of the past. I've gotten the opportunities to learn from billionaires, and I'm collapsing decades of time, and I'm literally achieving what I thought was going to take me 10 years to achieve in 1 year. All of this because I use podcasting as a networking tool, and I leveraged a rare concept called the cloak track. And I want the exact same thing for you. Just imagine where you could be in 1 year from now if you get this free training right now. That is why I'm inviting you to this training. On this short training, you're going to learn how a small group of purpose-driven entrepreneurs, authors, coaches, course creators, and speakers have combined podcasting with this rare concept called the cloak track to build a multi-million-dollar network, reach thousands of their ideal clients with their message, books, courses, coaching, make an extra $118,800, get booked on 10 stages, and build a successful network of entrepreneurs who speak on their stage, all of this in under 6 months. I'm going to walk you through the 4 steps to make this work. Step number 1, alignment. Getting clear on who you want to be, what you want to do, your goals, your purpose, and aligning all of this with building your podcast and your ideal podcast guest. Step number 2, leveraging the cloak track to find your ideal podcast guest and never running out of them. Step number 3, leveraging the cloak track to close an interview with anyone, no matter how rich, famous, or out of your league they may seem. And step number 4, the content machine. The content machine is the key to tapping into other people's audiences. And I'm going to show you all of those 4 steps. The link to access this free training is in the description of this video. Click on it and go watch this training right now so that you can learn how you can too build a multi-million-dollar network that helps you achieve bigger goals faster and with less effort. Note, this training is only available to 18 people, so act right now, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this episode. Bye-bye.
Does that make you amazing? Also make you terrible. So to say that that is not who you are, I would disagree with you. It is exactly who you are. You just have to know how to talk to it.
Exactly. Yeah. How to, you know that you're the soul in control, right? Like that is part of you, but you're the soul in control, right? So you decide how is it that you want to use it, right? Yeah, I like that. And so yeah, it's been coming up, and I'm like, this past week, like I noticed how I showed up for my team. I have a team of 12, and I was able to notice it was a little bit more heavy than other times, a little bit of more of like a dictator type of thing, which I'm not. Well, I am, right, but I'm not that. I'm able to be a little bit.
All bosses are.
Huh?
All bosses can be dictators.
Yeah.
Like if you're the boss, right? You can be a dictator. That's how you got shit done. You dictated to yourself. You got it done. When you first hire an employee, you dictate to them and you get it done. But at some point that ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
At some point that ends. You don't want to dictate to your daughter for her whole life, do you?
No,
but you have to right now. She's 3 years old. You have to dictate. Time to eat, time for bed, time for this, right? But at some point that has to change. There has to be a transition through that.
Yeah. So I'm a warrior, man, as well, right? Even though I haven't fought on the UFC or anything like that, I can feel it. And
I believe everyone's a fighter.
Huh?
I believe everyone's a fighter. Yes,
Yeah,
true
yeah,
statement.
yeah. So in I remember the quote, like, what would you rather be? Would you rather be a warrior in a how do you call like this little
Would you
place that
rather
has
be a
plants?
warrior in a would you rather be a warrior in a garden or a gardener in a war?
Yeah, exactly, right. So
Yeah.
like, and then Jordan Peterson says, you gotta be a monster, right? You gotta be a
Yeah.
monster, but you gotta be able to, like tame that monster and have it in control and just take it out whenever you need to take it out, right? But like a man who is not a monster, who's not able to like be aggressive, like protect his family, do whatever it takes, is like a weak man, right? So you gotta be a monster, have that in control, and then be able to take it out whenever it is that you need it, right? Like on
Which
demand.
is so rare. This is the problem. This is one of the problems that I'm seeing, that I see with men right now. There's two major problems. One, the weakness problem. They're so weak. We are so weak. And then two, the I'm a lion problem. Constantly screaming how strong and tough you are. Then both are awful. Both are awful. And I like to compare the strong one, because they both drive me crazy. The too weak one is just obvious. It's obvious how that's
Yeah.
wrong, but the I'm a lion, bro.
Turns
I
into
like to say,
arrogance.
yeah, I like to just say this. You know who Tom Brady is, obviously, right?
Yeah.
He won 7 Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
Every time you win a Super Bowl, they give you one of those dumbass shirts that say Super Bowl champion on it, right? How many times do you think Tom Brady has worn that shirt out in public?
Every day.
No, 0, because everyone knows who he is.
Yeah. So he's
And he
not
doesn't
trying to
need to
prove anything.
Yeah, your actions are what your actions are what make people say you're a lion. Your actions are what make people say that you're not a coward and that you're strong, not your words. Your words are just words. Everyone can speak great words. Hitler was an amazing orator. Amazing. Right? He could speak so well. His actions were terrible. Right? His actions were awful. But he could speak really well. And that's how he got people to do what he wanted to do. So if you speak well, good for you. What are your actions saying? So yeah, I'm a lion. Okay, well, what does that mean? Let's go one step further. You're a strong man. What does it mean to be a strong man?
Okay.
Well, that's what I like to ask people when I'm a fucking lion, dog. Okay, what does that mean? Can you show vulnerability? Can you let people see where you are weak?
There you go. Yeah.
Can you sit down and listen when it's time to listen, rather than always
It's the opposite of what people would think a strong man is, right? So like humble, respectful, humble, wise. You're able to listen. You're able to like share what is it that you're feeling, vulnerable.
Can you apologize when you're wrong? Because we're all wrong. You're wrong. You're often, right? Can you apologize? And are you aware of where you're weak? Because everyone's weak. Everyone has weakness. If you have strength, you have weakness. One cannot exist without the other. So are you aware of it? And once you become aware of it, do you know how to work on it? Do you know how to make it so it's a little less prevalent? Think about, like, from fighters, right? Every style has a hole in it. Every style has a hole in it. The best, they just know how to close their holes. They know how to hide the hole. They're very, very aware of it. They deal with it. And they're like, okay, this is what I do well. And this is what I don't do well. And this is how this other person's going to win. So I have to be very, very aware of how this other person's going to win too. I can't focus on it. I can't just be like, oh my God, they're going to do this. They're going to do this. They're going to do this. No, I have to focus on what I'm going to do. But I have to know the other person's path to victory. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So how would you say that can translate to business and entrepreneurship?
First of all, what can you be the best in the world at in business? It's called a hedgehog concept. What can you be the best? It's a hedgehog concept.
Okay.
It's from this book called Good to Great by Jim Collins. Okay. What can you be the best in the world at? Get very, very clear on that, and then go do it. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. So, man, have you gotten clear on what that is?
What I can be the best in the world at?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, teaching martial arts.
Teaching martial arts. Awesome.
Teach martial arts and empowering people to live their greatest life. That's what I can be the best in the world at. That's all I do every day. I don't do anything else.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. So
if I need my car fixed, guess what I do?
Hire someone else, because it's not in your a sphere of competence, or a sphere of excellence, or a sphere of genius.
I work my ass off to have enough money so that I can hire somebody else who works their ass off and they can have enough money at their expertise.
Nice. I love that, man. So I actually just read 2 books. One is called The Upper Limit. Have you read that one? Incredible book, man. Like, we have upper limits, right? Like you have, you get to a certain level of income and then you fuck yourself over, for some reason to get you back on, in between the areas that you feel comfortable, right? Or you have an upper limit with the amount of love that you allow yourself to feel, or you have an upper limit with the amount of success, love, happiness, fulfillment that you allow yourself to feel, right? And this upper limit, let me show you. This upper limit, it shows up like in worry, criticism, blame, deflecting. Deflecting is like if someone tells you that you're beautiful, you're like, no, I have acne here, right? Instead of feeling it, right? Squabbling, getting hurt or sick. So I probably got hurt because I was getting too strong, man. Honestly, like I not because I really got hurt, but I probably got hurt because I was getting too good, right? Because I was like making very fast progress, and I'm like, maybe, I don't know, I haven't dove into it yet, and maybe I'm like, no, like you don't belong, you don't deserve to like squat 4 plates and bench 3. Like, let's get hurt, something, something like that. Or you're in the car, you just had an amazing date with your wife, and then a stupid problem pops up, and you get the feeling, you get the need to start talking about it for some reason, right? After having had an amazing day. And in there, I learned about the zone of competence, things that you're good at that you could do, right? The zone of excellence, things that you're really good at that like the world would empower you to focus on those things, right? But that's not the thing that you should focus on. What you should focus on is your zone of genius, right? So you're probably good at a lot of stuff that your parents probably told you growing up that this is what you should do, right? But like what you really want to do, like your zone of genius is teaching martial arts, right? So that first came up in that book, and then I read another book, Who Not How, that if you have enough money to solve a problem, then you don't have a problem. You can just hire someone else to like do it for you if you're not good at it.
Yeah, look, I I only focus my time on my children, my wife, so like family, and martial arts. Something revolving around martial arts. I don't focus my time on anything else. Hold on. I love to cook. That brings me happiness.
That's cool.
So I love to cook. But
what is your best plate? What is your best plate that you cook?
Shit, son. What do you want? What do you want me to make? Anything revolving around meat. So brisket, steak, Yeah, I love to cook meat. I love to grill meat.
Nice.
But go ahead.
Do you cook on the mastermind retreat, the gospel of fire in Maui? Like
I don't cook, so we won't cook on that. That's a 3-day intensive retreat with jiu-jitsu, and we'll go out to eat, because I don't but yeah, it's a 3-day very intense retreat where we get into it, we get into who we are. We do some badass things, like we're going to jump off the rock the first day. So like you show up, we go to bed, we wake up at 6, we meditate, we go train, and then we go jump off the rock, man, and then after we jump off the rock, we'll chill a little bit, do some more jiu-jitsu. But yeah, that's how we roll the Gospel Fire Retreat every day. A nice activity with a lot of jiu-jitsu and mindset and mindfulness training.
Nice. I love that, man. So who is that for?
Anybody, men that want to come and get really intense with themselves, get really intense, experience Maui. One of the reasons I do it in Maui is because there's something about Maui that is just so magical. It's so magical. So anybody that wants to come can come. There's only 10 spots. I only do 8, I'll cut it at 8 to 10 spots because I need intimacy. We need intimacy in that group. We can't have 100 people in that group.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So when is the next one going to be, bro?
A month, June 23rd. So June 23rd is the next one. So I try to do it twice a year. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. What about the next one? Until next year?
December.
So Maui is a pretty tropical place, I guess, right? So you can go
and
like
I
any
like
time of
to
the
go
year.
there. Yeah, it's 80 degrees every day. And I
Man,
like to spend 2 months of the year on the island. So
I'll see you there in December, like this June.
okay.
Like my June, I'm booked like all June.
Yeah.
But I'll
Come.
see you in December. It sounds like something
All
very
right.
awesome that would like to experience.
Yeah. It's a good time. And I know Maui very well. So yeah, it's really fun.
Cool, man. So let's see. So on the podcast, on the Gospel of Fire podcast, do you interview people?
Yeah. So I have a Monday motivational. Every Monday, I'm like a motivational thing comes out, and then every Friday an interview comes out.
Okay. And who should check it out?
I just anybody look. My ICA, my avatar, right, of who I'm speaking to is men mostly. Okay, as is yours. You should check it out if you're interested in this life of purpose. Okay, this life of really trying to achieve and strive for greatness. I love the chase of greatness. I've never actually hit it. Like I'm still on the chase. I don't know what great looks like. I've never touched it, but let's keep trying. Okay, let's keep trying. You should check it out if you like to hear different people's stories about how they made it, not the go to school, get a degree, go to work story. Okay, that's a story. Okay, but we know how to do that one. And that one generally leaves us, most men lead lives of quiet desperation because we're not chasing anything. So if you want to chase, tune into the Gospel of Fire, and we'll hear stories about how individuals, men and women, look, I talk to women too on that podcast, because I think that that's the very important, hearing how people achieve outside of the norm is amazing to me.
Yeah. Awesome.
Your story. You're going to come on the Gospel of Fire.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it would be a pleasure.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're teaching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You have all of this kind of like personal development stuff, your podcast, you have a coaching program, right? The Gospel of Fire. Yeah,
well, no, it's about to launch on Monday. This Monday, it's called the Blueprints, a 12-week course of how to live and actualize an amazing life.
Nice. What are some of the keys in there? What are some of the like the points in there?
So one, you have to set order to your life. You have to wake up and you have to have a routine. Okay. 2, there's 7 areas of your life. Okay. There's physical, vocational, financial, emotional, spiritual, familial, and mental. These are your 7 areas of life.
I agree.
And then what we're going to do is I didn't make that up. I stole that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do this thing called be, do, have. Okay. Cool. Actually, we start with needs first. What do you need? What do you need in each area of life? Like Eliot, as a human, what do I need familially? What do I need socially? What do I need financially? Okay. So we have to understand what you need first. And a lot of men in the world go, I don't need nothing, man. I need sex and I need whatever. Now, that is not true. You need so much more than sex from your wife, right? You need so much more than sex. That is just bullshit. If your wife isn't providing more than sex, then go get a prostitute. Literally, go get a prostitute, because you need more than that. So we have to really understand what do you need emotionally? I don't need nothing, man. I got my emotions in check, dog. No, you don't. No, you don't. Right? You need things emotionally. You need things spiritually. You need things socially. Okay. It might not be a lot, but you have to understand what it is you need. And then from there, who would you love to be, Alex? Who would you love to be in a family sense? Who would you love to be in a financial sense? And now look, after that, the universe has to balance, right? The universe must balance. So your altruism must balance your narcissism. Altruism. What are you going to give to the world? What will you have to do to be that person? And then what will you have in return? A lot of
Nice.
people don't want to mention this one either. Okay. We don't want to talk about what's in it for me. And I'm not talking financial ROI. Look, in the financial sense aspect of your life, yes, you need a financial ROI, but there's also 6 other areas where we're not talking about money. Okay. What will I have financially? I'm familially. What will I have socially when I am this person? What will I have? But I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to give something to the world to be that person. And then at the end of this course, we take all of that and we go, okay, that's the North Star.
I love it, man.
That's where I'm pointing my life. What do I have to do this year to get it done? What do I have to do in the next 3 months to get it done? What am I going to do today to be one step closer to what I have to do in 3 months, to what I have to achieve in 1 year, to what I have to achieve in 5 years? Where do I want my life to be in 5 years? I know where I want my life to be in 10 years. And every day I just pointed to that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just crazy when you have that, right? Like every single day. Huh?
You just work backwards.
Yeah. And like every single day, I'm just like, just wake up and I know what I'm after, man.
Right. But it's right. So, but you just work backwards. This is where it's going to be. It's going to be up here. This is 10 years or 5 years. Okay. This is where it's got to be in 5 years. Okay. This is where it's got to be in 3. This is where it's got to be in 1. All right. This is where I got to get done this 3 months, this quarter. What do I got to do today to get to the 90-day mark? And then, okay, then good. At 90 days, I assess. Did I get all that done? Yes. Okay, great. What do I have to get the next? And you just keep walking right towards it.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. That's amazing, man. I really like it. And I want to share something right now after this podcast.
Yeah.
So let's see. That's great. We do have a lot of people want to have first before they do, so that they can become.
Who do you want to be? Yeah. Who would you not want to be? Who would you love to be?
Yeah.
Who would you love to be?
And then there's others that do, but they're not even sure of what they want. So they're just running in circles, right?
Right.
So yeah.
You do. And then what? Yeah. And then you're just a human doing. You're not a human being.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I really like that process. And then especially with those 7 areas, right? I broke it down into 4, but yeah, same message, different messenger, right? Awesome, man. I like it. I love it, man. So man, I have 5 questions for you. And the first one, this is not the first question, but I'm just curious. How old are you, man?
I'm going to be 42 in July. So I'm 41 right now.
And how do you feel?
I feel amazing.
Awesome.
Physically?
Well, yeah, everything.
Oh, I feel amazing. I'm amazing, bro. Nobody's had a better life than me.
Nice. I like that. Awesome.
I'm the luckiest person in the world.
Nice. I like that, man. So if you could go back in time to give your 20-year-old self some advice, what would that be?
Nothing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like, I don't mean it from a way of, I wish I hadn't done that or regret. No. Just maybe to make your,
nothing.
your nothing.
You have to experience life.
Okay.
You can't like, because that question, like regret, it leads to regret. That's what we're talking about. If I could give a 20-year-old advice.
Yeah. Okay. If you can give me advice, what do you give?
Chase your dream. Chase your dream wholeheartedly. Put everything into it and don't worry about failing. You're going to fail. It's a guarantee. Death, failure, taxes, guarantees. Let's go. The only way you won't fail is if you don't try.
Yeah, exactly.
And then your whole life will be a failure. Yeah, then your whole life will be a failure.
You'll be unfulfilled, unhappy, and unsuccessful.
Yes, this is how men lead lives of quiet desperation. At some point, we give up. We give up. We give up to I need to have a family and I need to make sure I provide. We give up to that dream, that somebody else's dream is what most people give up to. And when you give up to that, you have accepted failure. You have accepted that life of quiet desperation. Stop it. Chase your dream to the end. Commit everything to it. And when you do, yes, you will fail. You will 100% fail. But then you can actually do something to make it better.
Man, I can't imagine myself like giving up to like this vision that I have. Like nowhere in my, like, I can't imagine. Like, what would have to happen?
Alex, I love you. You're young. Okay. I love you and you're young and that okay. But when people give up when life smacks them in the face.
Damn.
That's what
Fuck, yeah.
happens. You're right. When life smacks them in the face is when people give up.
So let's see, health. I don't know, I get run over by a fucking car, or something like that. I get cancer in my brain, health, relationships. I get, divorced. Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, that's why I'm having these conversations, right?
Yeah, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job, right? So that when life smacks you in the face, you have the tools to fight. You have the tools to build back.
Yeah. Awesome, man. So mindset. So what is one mindset shift that you've had that you can share with us that you think is contributing to your success and having, being one of the luckiest person in the world and having an amazing life?
The mindset shift that I've had is the obstacle is the way.
Cool.
The obstacle is always the way. It's what Yoda said. Whatever I'm afraid of, I have to go to. If I'm afraid to lose someone, I have to learn how to lose that fear, right? Like no one is mine. Nothing is mine, so the obstacle is the way.
Nice. I like that. Mindset map. So do you have any tactic, a lot of why, a lot of the reason why most men are not going, towards something, they're not like chasing this, their greatness, is because they don't even know what it looks like. So they lack clarity. So what piece of advice, tool, tactic, strategy would you give someone who may lack or need some clarity in their life?
First of all, you got to get very clear on who you are. Who are you? Who are you and where are you going?
Okay. Who are you? Like, not who you want to be?
No, who are you currently? Because who am I currently tells me where I am.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And then you can start to point other things. If you want to fix who you are, if you want to change who you are, you better know where you are to start.
Yeah.
You better know where you are to start. So because I know exactly who I am. I'm a father. Excuse me. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a teacher. I'm a fighter. I'm a student, and I'm a survivor. All of those things combined make me enough. One of them always shows up in the world. Whatever situation I'm in, one of those identities shows up. I use those identities now to go be amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that.
They're just always true. One of them is always true. I will always be a father for the rest of my life and for the rest of my kids' life and for the rest of the time that this world exists. When you look up Simon and Eliot Marshall, it will say Father Eliot. Therefore, fact, always.
Cool. So then the advice is get clear on who you are, because that would give you, a strong foundation to then go and get clear on where is it that you want to go, and then see and determine who is it that you must become to get there. Cool.
Yep.
A lot of people do. Yeah, a lot of people, like, if you don't know, like on Google Maps, like if you put a destination, but you don't have like your location turned on, you're not gonna know how to get there, right? So you gotta start with where you are, and then have a destination, and then have the directions. Which it sounds like. Are you in
Japan or are you in Australia? Right? Are you in Japan? You're in Australia? Are you in London? Because you want to get to Paris. Where are you starting?
Yeah, cool. Mindset map motion. So, what is one habit that you have that you think is contributing to your success?
Oh, I wake up and I meditate.
Cool.
Right after waking up, I spend some me time right away. Eliot wins immediately. I win real early in the day. It creates a highlight, right? Like that becomes the highlight. Oh man, look at you, Eliot. You crushed it already. You crushed it, and you've been up for 15 minutes. Yeah. So once I've won already, I just keep winning. And cool. Once you get the ball rolling of winning, what happens? It's just so much easier to win.
Yeah. 100%.
So I aim real low. I aim really, really low.
So then the real habit would be start your day winning.
Start your day winning. Yeah.
Whether that's
start your day with
meditation,
start your day winning.
Working out, for whatever.
Working out. Have a routine. Yeah. Cool. Put order to your life. Have a routine. Make it win.
Awesome, bro. The last question is around measure. So what do you think about measuring and tracking? You track everything?
Do I track everything? I track the important things.
Okay, cool. What are those?
I track measurables of like business. you know, how many courses am I sold? Things like that. I track that, but I don't track anything else. No, I try not to put too much judgment on it.
Got it. Awesome. So, a lot of people want money. Money is results across all of those 7 areas of your life. In my case, 4: physical freedom, emotional freedom, sentimental freedom, financial freedom. If you want money, if you want results across all of your areas, all of the areas of your life, you got to get 4 things right: mindset, map, motion, measure, and you'll get the money. So yeah, man, thank you very much for being here. I really love this conversation. I sensed, I really liked you, man. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
There was a very different connection that I felt in this podcast. And if you go and listen to all of my podcasts, I've never said this. But yeah, I really liked you. I was actually thinking about asking you for a second episode, and I've never done that. I've never asked anyone for a second episode.
Let's do it.
So, man, if other people, felt that energy as well, where can they go in and find more of your stuff?
EliotMarshall.com. So EliotMarshall.com, you can get my course is about to launch there on Monday. So I'll have that up there on Monday, or the gospel, the blueprint course. And then my Instagram at FireMarshall205. So that's where I am in the world, in the internet world. I try to respond to everyone. And Alex, I liked you too, man. Your story was amazing. Your story was amazing, how you switched your life around. Keep up the good work, young man. Our biggest problem in the world is we have a male problem. We have men that don't know how to be men, and that's creating so many other problems. So keep it up, homie.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, man. So thank you very much, man. And I'll see you later, bro.
Sounds great, man. I appreciate you. Yeah.
Thank you for watching the Gentleman Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with one friend, leave us a comment, and let us know. 99% of people never leave a review or comment, but we love and are very thankful with the 1% of you who do. If there's something or someone you want to see on this podcast, send me a message on Instagram at Alex_Ramirez1020 and let me know. As a thank you for that, I have an amazing surprise for each and every one of you who does take the time to leave us a comment or review on YouTube or one of the major podcasting platforms